We are live. I didn't have my mic on for a second. And we already have some submissions for beat critiques. And that's exactly what we're doing today. Beat critiques. And let me bring up my chat so that I can actually see what people are saying. And this is the second time that we've gone live on both YouTube channels. If you want to catch the replays, subscribe to my new live channel, and that link is in the description below. And let me switch over to this chat, and then I'll log on to Facebook just to make sure that we are live on all channels. And we are live on YouTube. Just got a message for that. And I'm just now realizing that Discord gives me a message as well. Excuse me. I should have refilled my water. I only have a little bit left. And yes, we are live on Facebook in both my Facebook group and my Facebook page. And, oh man, I have something in my eye too. And if you didn't know, I just recently launched my InflightMuzik 2020 sound kit. My eye is killing me. My eye is killing me. And I do have a discount for you guys, which I'll type into the chat here in 1 second before, give me a chance to keep my eyeball from falling out. Oh my God. I have no idea what that was. S-Made, what's up? The best. What's going on? Happy to have you in here. And we do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 5 p.m. United States Eastern Time. Like I said, the first time that we streamed on both channels and my Facebook group and page was Wednesday, and my goal was to hit 30 viewers, and we surpassed it by 1. So we hit 31. So we definitely succeeded in our goal. Simo, what's up? Simo says, I won't be able to be here this time, I guess. If I can get back home, I'll finish the beat I was making with your kit. Awesome. Sounds good. Sounds good. Khalil, what's up? How do I send the beat to you? You could send beats through the Discord, and that link is in the description below of the YouTube channel, and you just submit it in the beat critique section right here. Young NATO, shout out to you. You messaged me on Instagram saying that you live halfway across the world. So usually when I'm doing this live, you are asleep. So I gave you the link so that you could submit before anyone else. And here you are. You are the very first beat that we will be listening to today. So that way, when you watch the replay on the InflightMuzik live channel, you'll be first in line. Let me finish setting up a couple more things. Let's see, the discount code. I believe I pasted that here somewhere. Nope, that's not it. Let me go to my BeatStars account and pull that back up, because I want to make sure that I get it right. And again, you could submit beats through the Discord link. We're getting some more submissions here. I could hear the Discord going off. The Discord link is in the description below, and you just submit it here in the beat critique section. I also have a very special announcement that I'll be making in a couple weeks, and hopefully that announcement will actually change some of the things about the channel. So the channel is growing pretty fast now. Some of you remember I took a short hiatus, so the channel became stagnant for about 2 or 3 months, but as soon as I came back, we pretty much reached right where we left off at in terms of growth within that first month. And now we could see, now I'm seeing the channel's growing even faster than before. So I definitely appreciate all of your support. I appreciate anyone that shares the videos, comments, likes, and of course subscribing and hitting that notification bell. And that helps you guys with getting these live notifications too. Because the way YouTube works, they don't really promote the live streams. So typically you won't see that in the browser or on your main YouTube page. So in order to get notified about these live streams, you either have to just remember or actually hit that notification bell so that you are notified every time we go live. And here is the discount code right here. And this discount code is for the InflightMuzik 2020 drum pack. Hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. This will give you 40% off of the drum pack. And it has 200 sounds. So 10 folders, 20 sounds in each folder. I missed some messages here. S-Made said, only Discord, or is it okay to send on email? I suggest using Discord instead. It takes about 2 seconds to sign up. All you do is just type in your name and email. And that will give you access to more than just this beat critique. We have this tips and tricks section where our users submit their own personal tips and tricks. We have a leveling guide right here. Keep in mind, it's just a guide. Some kick settings to get hard-hitting kicks. Goes over compression and EQ. We also have some free packs here. If you go to the self-promo section, you could link up with graphic designers. Let's see. Yeah, here's a free drum kit right here. So and you can self-promote yourself. So I definitely recommend joining up on the Discord. There's really zero reason not to. And the reason why I don't do email is because we've had a lot of issues with Gmail when we first started the stream, so we're staying away from Gmail. Madison, what's up? Doing good. Hope you're doing well. Nemo, what's going on? DeAndre Bennett, what's going on, man? The Best says, told you it was going to get big. I appreciate your support. Benji, the Discord link is in the description below of the YouTube page. I wasn't very clear what that last message was in. Let me go ahead and write this out. InflightMuzik 2020 drum pack. %40 off. Code. There we go. And for people that can't read that, I feel like people on Facebook don't get my messages on Facebook when I type into the chat. So out loud, that code is live save 40. So if you type that into the promo code section on in the link in the description or on my BeatStars page, just go to rapontracks.com and you'll see the section for my sound kits, and then just type in live save 40 and you'll get 40% off of my first official drum pack. Again, it's 200 sounds, 20 sounds in each folder. That also includes 20 sample loops. So and we just got a sale. So I appreciate, again, I really appreciate your support for sure. It really helps out the channel and it helps out the cause overall. And yeah, after a year of doing nothing but giving out free kits and free MIDI packs, I also have the links to all of those down below. So pick those up if you can't quite afford the official kit yet. I'll still be hooking you guys up over time with more free stuff. And that's the main thing that this channel is here for. I'm just trying to help other people get started in music production and to actually, you know, sound good faster than they normally would. So a lot of the free kits that I was giving out was free MIDIs. And I feel like MIDIs really help you guys look at the piano roll and start to understand where notes go and how to compose melodies and things like that. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. These submissions are starting to build up, so I want to make sure I do get through all of these. So this first one is from Young NATO, and he says, only sent half the beat because the file size was too big. Oh, that's unfortunate. YouTube is here. Yeah, that's another thing, guys. The Discord only accepts MP3s that are less than 8 megabytes, so we always suggest posting links instead. He has a YouTube link here, so let me go ahead and click on his YouTube. The name of this track is God, so hopefully we could just find that track here on his YouTube. And another thing that's good about posting your links, I like to show my support, so I'll like your video, I'll comment on the video, and hopefully other people will go and stop by and like and comment on your videos as well. And same thing with SoundCloud. Any social media links where you have your music, that's what I suggest. And on top of that, I feel like that encourages you guys to get your music out there a lot more. So let's see. Let me just search his channel for God and see if we could find it, just to do him a favor here. No, I don't see that track anywhere. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to listen to 2 of his tracks. We're going to listen to this snippet that he has, and then I'm going to go and listen to his latest track, which he just posted 12 hours ago. So just to do him a favor, because he's been a long time subscriber and he hasn't been able to tune into these live. So okay, it sounds like he's not using a loop. It sounds like he composed this himself, which I appreciate. Nice synth bass. I like the tag. I usually hate most people's tags. Young NATO, I've never listened to any of your music before. I'm actually surprised. I wasn't sure what to expect, but I wasn't expecting something that was quite this good. This is pretty good. You got ear candy going on. I'm actually going to turn this down a little bit so that we're on conversation level. I'm not hearing any errors, Young NATO. Everything sounds nice and balanced. I can hear your kick over on top of the 808. That's a huge problem that a lot of beginners have. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that you've been producing longer than most beginners, so I would guess for at least a year, at least. Awesome vocals. That's really big right now. For the past year, throwing in little vocal chops like that has been a really big thing that a lot of producers are doing. Yeah, there's really nothing negative to say about that. I love the composition. When I was first listening to that piano, I thought it was a little... I might have switched out the sound selection for the piano, but once all the other instruments came in, it really didn't matter. Yeah, and going back and listening to it, yeah, that's me trying to find something wrong with it. So, and the chat is saying fire, slapper, they like your tag as well, and I just saw a 10 out of 10. That's one thing that I don't usually do, so I appreciate when the chat does that. I don't really rate beats. I feel like numbers really don't do anything for you, so I try to use my words, but I definitely appreciate when the chat chimes in and gives a rating. That way, and especially because getting a rating from just one person, like myself, that's really not going to do anything for you. But if you got a bunch of ratings from all kinds of people from the chat who all have different backgrounds, different tastes, I feel like that's really doing you a good service. So I definitely appreciate people that rate beats in the chat. And let's go ahead and listen to your latest beat that you just uploaded 12 hours ago. So. I was gonna say this sounds really chill, and I think that's in the title too. No, that's not in the title. It was in one of your other titles. So this is a collab with Mason Boy. Let me go ahead and like this. Leave you a comment.
Purchase your tracks today.
Yeah, I prefer your official tag compared to the purchase your tracks today. I think we all do. And boy, you got a website and everything too. So you have been doing this longer than your average. You're not a beginner. Yeah. Your video's on point. That's another reason why I like watching YouTube videos, because we can critique the marketing, the overall marketing. And I see you have the free download set up. That's cool. Let's go ahead and check out your website real quick right before we get to the next beat. Again, I don't have anything negative to say about that. That beat will sell, no doubt. Same with the last one. Those will definitely sell. NATO Beats, interesting background here. Pro page. 2540, 99, 150. Those are the prices I started out with. Cool. Yep, nice and clean. You offer services too. Any mixing services for our viewers? No, it's just a link. I suggest going into your customization and getting rid of any extra links here. So like videos, that's cool. Maybe change that title to beat videos. I have my title changed to tutorials, and then in services, just get rid of that since there's nothing there. The less there is for people to click on, the more they'll focus on what you're trying to get them to focus on, which is your music. So that's really all I got to say about that. Young NATO, I appreciate you. Thanks for reaching out to me on Instagram. Anyone can reach out to me on IG or Twitter through DM. The links are down below. So Breezy, what's up? Happy Friday to you as well. Yeah, Khalil says, definitely seems like a hardworking dude. Yeah, I totally agree. This next track is from Truth Seeker. He owns one of the larger Facebook groups for FL Studio. So check out FL Studio Beatmakers Live. I think that's what it's called. Let me double check that. But yeah, his name is Dennis. Let's see. Facebook. FL Studio Producers Live. But yeah, let's go ahead and listen to his track. It says just checking out what this exactly is. What do you think about my little project? Yeah, definitely a different vibe. This isn't what he usually makes either, I can tell. Punny, what's going on? Yeah, just a little snippet. Sounds like he threw some mastering on there with how loud everything is. It sounds like it's compressed up top. Let me do a quick... Oh, and by the way, his Facebook group is FL Studio Unleashed. So if you guys want to check that out. I'll switch out that kick for something that's a little more focused. It sounds kind of phasey. Like a lot of top end on it, but not a lot of body. The snare sounds a little small too. And the melody, that melody with the delay, it's a little loud, and I think that's coming from the mastering plugins that I'm guessing that you have. So everything got smashed up to the top, so now that makes all the lower level sounds louder, and it takes away from the power and punch from your drums. So if you had if you just had the melody lower, maybe I wouldn't have an issue with the snare, and that kick would probably sound a lot better too. Yeah, so maybe take off those mastering plugins and re-level everything, or just adjust your threshold on your limiter so that it's not getting squashed as much. But I think either way, you're going to have to turn down that melody. Yeah, for sure. All right, Percocet. Never Know, 157 BPM, MP3. Let's check it out. Yeah, Madison's noticing some harsh frequencies on that one. Snare feels empty. Totally agree, King. Khalil says, I hear a particular artist on that one. Yeah, yeah. I always try to picture artists. David Treasure, what is up? I would change the key of the song and move it up. Either that, or take the lowest note of that bass line and move it up a perfect fifth. So that lowest note in that bass line isn't so low, because it's just a little too rumbly. For some people, that's going to be impossible to hear on something like computer speakers. I'm going to switch to my earbuds and just take a listen real quick. Yeah, I can still hear it because of the extra harmonics you have over the 808, but overall, I think it would sound better if that lowest note got pitched up to a fifth over where it's at right now. Either that, or you could transpose the entire composition up by like a half step or two. And I think that would save that. But I do like the melodies. Has like a fantasy type vibe to it, but really ambient. That kick is nice and punchy. Maybe a little too much reverb on the snare, but overall, I like the ambience of the track for sure. But you're getting a lot of ambience from the melodies and whatnot, so you don't necessarily need that much reverb on the snare. But that's more of a taste thing. Let's check out the next one, Deposit 166. It says produced by Vaughn. So that's probably Percocet's producer name. Yeah, King Ace actually says too much reverb on the snare as well. Good call, Benji. Benji said nav type beat. Yeah, I could totally hear that. Khalil agrees too. Old nav, yeah. Yeah, totally hear that. Again with a punchy kick. I like the little ear candy in the background that you have there. That laser sound. Khalil says, sounds like something Drake would hop on. I don't know if I hear that, but... I'm not a fan of these melodies. I'm not going to sing it. Hold on. I'll just play it. Yeah, that melody on the left side, it just sounds kind of lazy to me. Like, da 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 da. Like, maybe if it was a different sound that was doing it, I just feel like it's not really adding anything to the beat. It's just there just to be there. Yeah, you'll be surprised how much a bass line or the chords that you choose really manipulate where the melodies go. And I feel like you're getting restricted by the bass line that you decided to go with there. Yeah, that bass line is really... it's interesting. I almost want to say that I can't pick out the key that it's in. Yeah, that chord right there, it's kind of off-putting. And I feel like that's what's really restricting where you're going with these melodies. But yeah, in terms of composition, I like the first one much better. And then maybe some issues with sound selection. Yeah, the two sounds, the two main melodies, I would try and find some more modern type of sounds. They sound kind of dated. Let's see. Benji likes it. He says anyone could hop on this. Where's the link for submitting? It's down in the description below. Just hop on Discord and submit to the beat critique section, which is at the very top. Oh, you found it. Benji says, should a synth bass be in mono or stereo? That's a really good question. The sub frequencies of your synth bass should always, for any bass, really, should always be in mono. And then you could have the higher frequencies in stereo. I actually just dropped a tutorial on Sublab, which is the plugin that I used to make all of my basses inside of the InflightMuzik 2020 drum pack. And speaking of which, let me just go ahead and drop that discount code for you guys again. Let me scroll back up and copy and paste exactly what I said before, because all I did was just... there it is. And inside of Sublab, there's actually an option to keep your sub in mono and to spread the higher frequencies. So that's why I really love Sublab, or not the only reason, but it's one of the many reasons why I think Sublab is the best 808 synth bass plugin ever made for urban producers, because they did a lot of things right that literally almost every bass plugin that I've ever used got wrong. Literally almost every single one. So one of them being the legato versus portamento. So if you get a 808 plugin and they had that glide knob. Well, as soon as you turn up that glide knob, every time you hit a note, each note glides. And that's not what you want if you're an urban producer. What you really want is legato. And when you have legato, that allows you to make the decision whether or not you want the notes to glide or not. So you could press individual notes, not have them glide. And then if you want it to glide, you just overlap the notes, play 2 notes at the same time, and it'll glide into that next note. And for whatever reason, 9 times out of 10, other plugin manufacturers, when it comes to 808 plugins, get that 100% wrong. So yeah, Sublab definitely knew what they were doing in terms of the glide function. Yeah, and the best says in mono most of the time. Yeah, at the end of the day, you're always safer just being in mono. And then if you are going to spread frequencies, try to keep the spread above 100 hertz. But there's no real rule to that. Sometimes I might go lower. Sometimes I might go higher. But you really want those sub-frequencies to be in mono. So like, 30, anything below 60, for sure you want to be in mono. But I recommend going even higher than that, just to be sure. The more in mono, the more power you're going to get. So keep that in mind. King A says, I always forget to put my 808s in mono. 9 times out of 10, your 808's already in mono. So usually you don't have to manually do that unless you got like a weird drum pack. Which I should also mention that all the 808s in my drum pack are tuned. I never understand why why people release 808s and they're all in different keys. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But yeah, all the 808s in my drum pack are tuned. And that goes for the basses too. I have a bunch of synth basses. I have 20 synth basses along with 20 808s. So your low end should be taken care of with this pack. The idea behind the pack is to literally have a pack where you just use that for 2020. So that's I literally made this pack so that I don't have to use anyone else's pack for the entire year. Yeah, the best totally agrees. Like, why would you? Yeah, it makes no sense why you would put 808s in different keys. Nemo, what is up? YouTube link. Kanye West x Pusha T x Sci-Hi the Prince. Good music type beat. I'm digging the sample already. Oh, these drums are hard. That string is fire. This is a deadly vibe. This is dope. Got that perfect swing on them drums. Yeah, that swing really makes this, really brings out the essence of hip hop with this. Khalil says, ooh, love this. Level Up Beat says dope. King A says fire. Let me go to your YouTube. Nice bridge, nice drop. Yeah, I feel like that's a lyricist's dream right there. That's totally on point. That's totally on point. Nemo, were you the one? Someone last week had some crazy Kanye type beats. Was that you, Nemo? Whoever it was, they were saying that they don't really... when I went to their main page, they had another one, and I was like, yeah, you need to make more of these. But they said that they didn't really... they didn't have a lot of them. I'll be able to tell when I go to your main channel here. Yeah, it was you. Nemo. Yeah, it was that video right there. Nemo, are you on Instagram? You need to follow me on Instagram and I'll follow you back. Let's see, I missed some messages here. Oh, we got a 10 out of 10. More fire, more fire. Reminds me of YZ Cat. Oh, that YZ Cat does most of the time. Simon. Hey, bro, my files are too big. What do I do? Do you have a YouTube link or SoundCloud or anything like that? Hopefully this will encourage you to upload your music to the internet so people could hear it. If you don't want to, you can go ahead and re-export like half the beat if it's too large. Benji loves the mix on the drums. Influx says this is sick, very thick. And yeah, Nemo confirmed. Nemo says he doesn't really use IG that much. Well, next time you're on IG, hit me up. Or if you use Twitter, either one. Got a SoundCloud link here. I'm not really on SoundCloud too much, but I'll go ahead and show my support here. I wasn't expecting the chop snare. Interesting. I would EQ those your pad strings. It has a little too much low end in there. But yeah, it's clashing with your bass. I like the melodies though. Yeah, I agree, Khalil. Smoker's vibe. The best says 808, a little quiet. It sounds like it's a synth bass, but it's getting it's clashing so much with those pads, so it's really hard to hear. But yeah, if you EQ that pad a little bit, that synth bass will come out a lot more. But even then, I still agree that it needs to be turned up. Dope vocals. Dagny says, don't really know how to master. Well, it's really more of a mixing issue than mastering. But I'm sure that's what you meant. Benji hears Lil B on this. I really like this sound. It might be a little too piercing for some people, but I think you got it just right. It's probably, you probably just put it in as is, but if you added a little EQ notch right around like 7K, I feel like that might help that sound out on more systems. But it sounds okay with the headphones that I have on, but I imagine that that might be a little too piercing on some systems. So, Dagny, how long have you been making beats? Because I do like this beat a lot. The Best says, where y'all people getting those type of vocals? Yeah, Dagny, where'd you get those vocals? I recommend Angelic Vibes. Go out to their website and check out. They have a couple vocal packs and a fire guitar pack that are just insane. But they have those exact type of vocals. Another vocal pack, Purple Clouds from Dope Boys. They're like the top sellers on Airbit. If you go to their website, they have a drum pack or a sample pack. I think it's a drum pack called Purple Clouds, and they have vocals in there. Or it might be a vocal pack, actually. But those vocals are like the first time that I ever heard these type of vocals. Yeah, and of course, Cymatics. How did I forget about Cymatics? Yeah, Cymatics has vocals like that too. So Dagny's been at it for like 4 months. That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, keep it up, man. You're doing good. You're doing great. Madison says, have to head out early tonight. I'll be sure to catch the rest of the stream when I get back. Yeah, that reminds me, by the way, if you want to catch these replays, make sure you go down below and subscribe to my InflightMuzik live channel. I think most of you are watching on my tutorial channel right now, but all of these get re-uploaded to my InflightMuzik live channel, and we also do the live stream on there as well. So, but these videos will not be available after we go off air on my tutorial channel. All right, let's go to the next one. Khalil Sushi 155. Liking the vibe. Good sound selection. What's up, JP? Good to have you in here. So, in terms of mixing, the only problem that I'm hearing is it sounds like you have a little buildup right around 100 to 200 hertz. So pull up, if you don't have a spectrum analyzer, check out Voxengo Span. It's free. It's what I use on every single beat, just to have a visual representation whenever you need it, to point out things that you might be hearing or might not be hearing. But it should confirm that you have a buildup of frequencies right around 1 to 200 hertz. So just a little duck out from there, either with your individual instruments, or you could do that in the mix. Just duck that down by like 2 or 3 dB. But at the end of the day, just use your ears and you'll kind of hear things clear up. But other than that, I like the sound selection. Everything sounds leveled nice. Kick could be a little harder, but that might be because of the choice of kick here. Never mind, there's the kick. I was just listening to the 808 at that point, because when I first listened to it, I was like, no, the kick's on point, and then all of a sudden, yeah. So your 808 just happens to have a nice attack on it. I can hear some clashing between the kick and the 808 as well. Some things that could help you out there. If you pull up an EQ on both your kick and your 808, find the fundamental frequency of your 808, and you could either boost that or just leave it as is, and then take out some of the frequency where the main part of your kick is hitting, and then those should glue together a lot better. And your kick will hit a lot cleaner, because I could hear like some issues in terms of like phasing, some cancellation issues. So yeah, just a little EQ on that, or side chaining, which is more dramatic, but I think just some simple EQ should be able to help you out here. I actually am dropping a tutorial here in the next couple weeks on how to get your kick and 808 to play well together without using side chaining. So definitely pay attention to that. It's basically what I just told you right there, in addition to a few other things. Phasing, phase cancellation is something that happens when you have two waveforms that are identical to each other. And if you reverse the waveform in the second sound, it will actually cancel out the other sound, so you won't hear anything at all. So like if you took any sample, throw it into FL Studio, and copy that sample and play it at the same time as the other sample, they'll cancel out if you flip the phase of one of them. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. So a lot of times 808s and kicks share a lot of the same frequencies. So it's more likely for those frequencies to cancel out than some of the other sounds. So let me just drag this into the playlist here. So we're going to make this sound disappear. This is also how I have a tutorial coming out with creating your own acapellas. This is how you do it, actually. If you get the if you get a beat and a track with vocals on it, what you can do is flip the phase of the instrumental, and then you'll only be left with the vocals for the most part. But yeah, so right here we have two copies of this kick. Let me go ahead and let me zoom in here. So if we play these both at the same time, it's just louder. So it's really loud. But let me go ahead and make this unique. So now we have two samples here. So on the second sample, I'm going to reverse the phase, aka reverse polarity. So now we won't hear anything. That's phase cancellation. So that happens with your kicks and 808s. And yeah, so yeah, that's really it. A lot of times your kicks and your 808s will actually be sharing the same type of wave shape. And when they play together, they'll cancel each other out. And that's, yeah, see, we hear nothing. So it takes away a lot of the power, and yeah, we call that phase cancellation. So, all right, let's move on to Flo Mars. Dope name. Appreciate everything you've been teaching. How to scoop your drum pack. Awesome. I appreciate that. This is called In Memoriam. Sounds like you probably used Omnisphere. So, Khalil says, so a solution would be not to reverse the polarity. It depends on what you're hearing. So if you're hearing phase cancellation, one of the tips would be to reverse the polarity, actually. Because if you're getting phase cancellation and you flip the polarity, that could eliminate the cancellation that's going on. So yeah, at the end of the day, you just want to use your ears just by checking the polarity. So click it. If the kick sounds louder and punchier and the 808 sounds cleaner, or vice versa, then you're doing good. But if it sounds worse, then obviously go back to where you had it. That's really the best solution, to just check your phase. I also have a tutorial on that coming out, where actually that's going to be in the same tutorial where I talk about getting your kicks and 808s to sound good without side chaining. So yeah, anytime you're not side chaining your kick with your 808, or vice versa, anytime you're not side chaining your 808 with your kick, you definitely want to check phase issues by just clicking that one button and see what sounds better, and then go with that. Another thing that can help you with that is changing the pitch of your kick. So obviously you don't want to change the pitch of your 808 because your 808 has to follow, the key of your song. But your kick, you could change the pitch of it, and that will change the waveform. It will change how wide or how narrow your waveform is, because if you go up in pitch, it actually makes the waveform shorter. If you go down in pitch, it makes the waveform longer. And that can adjust the shape of the waveform to where it might not cancel out as much with your bass. Thank you for that purchase, whoever just purchased. I appreciate you very much. Thank you. And again, let me just post this discount code for anyone else that would like to hop in on that. I personally believe that this is the best modern trap drum kit available, and I don't think anyone's going to beat it for a while. So again, I made that kit so that I don't have to use any other kit for 2020. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, let's take a listen to Flo Mars. And yeah, this is in memoriam. Nice synth bass. I'm assuming that's from Omnisphere as well. I've heard some good synth basses in Omnisphere. I'm hoping to win Omnisphere for free. They're supposed to announce some winners today from Echo Soundworks or ADSR, that website. All the drums are completely dry, but it kind of goes with the vibe. Siamat says, if I wasn't broke, I'd purchase that kit right now. No, I totally understand, man. I totally understand. In the meantime, you can download Simo's kit inside of the Discord. The Monotony drum kit. Go to the self-promo section, scroll all the way to the top. His kit's right there for anyone that wants a free drum kit. What's up, Dennis? You should be able to rewind and listen to your critique. Dennis is the owner of FL Studio Unleashed. He's who I was telling you about earlier. Okay. So yeah, really simple. Just one change up with the synth bass. Yeah, I always appreciate when people have 808s and synth basses in their beats. It's very rare that you'll listen to one of my beats where I don't have both an 808 and a synth bass. But yeah, it just allows more variation in your track. So if you didn't have that, this track would be way too stagnant. But even then, I'd still like to hear maybe one other type of switch up. Yeah, just one other type of switch up. Just to give you some ideas, you could filter out sounds, bring the filter back in. You can halftime part of the beat. You could reverse part of the beat. You could do beat stutters. That actually wouldn't work for this track, but those are just some ideas for switching up the arrangement a little bit. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why In Memoriam is so popular, because it just sounds so good. You could really have it going through the entire track. Khalil, I appreciate you. Deco, good to have you back, man. Now we have a YouTube link from Jay Will. Let's check this out. Show my support by liking and commenting. And you guys feel free to check these producers out yourself too. Maybe these are some guys that you want to subscribe to and show your support. But with a caveat, only subscribe if you're really into what they're doing, because it actually hurts the YouTuber if you subscribe and you don't watch any of their videos. That's why that follow for follow shit doesn't work. It actually hurts everyone. So don't subscribe if you don't want to subscribe for real. If you're not into that producer, you're actually hurting their channel. Yeah, King Ace, good point. Another melody would help the beat. Yeah. Hey, Time, what's up? What's up? Ooh, this came in hard. I had a feeling it would. It sounded nice and clean at the beginning. Kiro, what's going on? Welcome to the channel.
AJ Will.
Nobody likes you said Black Friday deal was only $3 more. I'm not sure who he's saying that to, but yeah, it's $3 more than yesterday. Hey Ty, I appreciate you sending in a beat. Yeah, this is nice and clean. Everything's leveled nicely. I like the 808. I like the sound selection. Vocals are on point. Pluto, the link to the Discord is down below. You could submit into the Discord and just add it to the beat critique section right here. Oh, I hear those reverse keys too in there. This is fire.
AJ Will.
Oh, good choice for the artist too. The Baby, Lil Tecca, YNB, Corday. Yeah, I could definitely hear them on this track. I can definitely hear that on this track. J. Will said, I tried. You succeeded. You succeeded. Oh, I guess this is the comment that I missed here. Bro, I'll buy your pack right now if you give me a Black Friday deal. Maybe you missed that. Here you go. Again, that's 40% off. The InflightMuzik 2020 drum pack, 200 sounds, all geared towards modern trap production. Made it so that you don't have to buy another kit in 2020. At least that's my my intention for myself. I will have more kits, but they'll be geared more towards sample loops. This kit also includes 20 sample loops, but I'll be dropping some MIDI drums and things of that nature, sample loops, presets. Actually, that reminds me. Oh, this sounds dope already. Go ahead and drop everyone in the chat. Let me know what's your main VST, or actually, scratch that. Let me know what VST you would like me to make presets for, if you guys want a preset pack, because that's actually one of my main things is sound design, if you guys haven't noticed. But yeah, I'll definitely hook you guys up with a free preset pack for whatever the main plugin you guys are using. If I own the plugin, I'm not going to do one for Omnisphere. I don't have Omnisphere. AB says, Synthmaster, bro, it's underrated so much. I totally agree. I totally agree. And in fact, I was about to upgrade my Synthmaster player to Synthmaster 1 and the full Synthmaster version. But specifically for trap, for modern trap, I believe that that synth is the most underrated synth in the game. Hands down. Hands down. And I'm not just talking about the sound design capabilities, but even the presets. Even the presets. Yeah, who here doesn't own Expand? All of y'all better own Expand. It's $5. Go out and get Expand. It's so automatic. I wouldn't mind doing a free preset pack for Expand. And check out Bro Beats. He has a free preset pack for Expand. Dennis Synthmaster. Electra X. Yeah, see, Electra X isn't underrated, so it's pretty much rated exactly the way that it should be. I totally agree, but I do not own that synth, unfortunately. And they never, ever have sales, man. So it's like a full $200. King A says Expand is overrated, to be honest. I guess it depends on your circle. If people are saying Expand is like better than, you know, than the paid synths or the expensive synths, then they're out of their minds. But in terms of price, bang for your buck, yeah, I think it's well worth the $5. Especially when you start layering and making your own presets in it. Jonathan says he bought Sector. Yeah, not a fan. I wouldn't even use that synth for free, for real. I know they had it on sale for like $15. Yeah, I wouldn't buy it for 15. But that's just me, though. Yeah. Jonathan asked how I would rate it. That's how I'd rate it. I'd rate it as not worth... I wouldn't pay $1 for it, for real. I wouldn't pay $1 for it. Simon says, already got the Bro Beats pack. Awesome, awesome. And you know what? I'm a fan of Initial Audio too. And Sector is made by Initial Audio. So, yeah. Just a piss poor plugin. Piss poor job on that plugin in terms of just the sound. I'd rather use Synth 1, which is a free synth. Robert Jones says Serum. Okay. Yeah, that's more EDM. You absolutely can make trap sounds with it, but it's not as automatic as some of the other wavetable synths, like, Synthmaster. Another good one for trap production and EDM would be Arturia Pigments. The best says, I left out your beat. I'm about to check that here in a second. David Treasure says, how do you make sounds in Expand? Really, you're just adjusting the presets and layering presets. King A says, damn, what makes it so bad? The filters and the oscillators. So everything sounds thin and plasticky, which, you know, I hate describing things like that, but it literally sounds like a toy to me. It just takes a lot more work and effort to make a good sound that is usable for my style of production. There you go. Simon says it works well for Lil Pump and Smoke Perp type beats. But I can't imagine Murder Beats ever using a plugin like Sector. Yeah, DJ Av McCree is a talented sound designer. For you guys that have Electra X, check out DJ Av's preset packs for Electra. Yeah, me and him have clashed in the past, but I mean, overall, I mean, he's a good guy for the community, and he's really talented. So whether you have Sector or not, that might be, you know, he probably does have some good sounds for it, for sure. Kick sounds nice. Leveled well with the bass. I'm liking the composition. Nice and ambient, not too much reverb either. Oh, that's so dope. That's so dope. And this is what I was talking about with that last beat in terms of having more switch ups, like, yeah, just a little halftime here or there, and then adding something on top of the halftime, because when you have halftime, everything gets pitched down, it goes dark. This dude was smart enough to add vocals that were really high pitched on top of that, and those vocals just lifted everything up. That was great. Samson said he posted a beat with using the new kit. That's awesome. JP, where the free packs at? Actually, I'll give you some here. shout out to you, Aton. I appreciate that. Yeah, these switch ups are good. The mix is great. Looks like he went nuts over here. Let's see what happens. Oh, the waveform just looks different. Dope, dope. Okay, so I skipped over... Oh, I sure did, bro. I sure did. I sure did. Totally sounds very Astro World right now. JP, yeah, the free oh, thanks, Dennis. I just saw your comment there. I appreciate that. Free packs. So there's a... This sounds dope, bro. If you go into the self-promo tab, here's the Bonotny drum kit by Simo. You can download that. I'm also going to point out some other free kits for you guys right after this beat. Fire, fire, fire. I like the choice of 808 too. The composition's pretty dope. Aton doesn't like the amount of distortion on it. Yeah, a lot of comments on the 808. It's definitely a matter of taste on that one, for sure. Nice little switch up here. Okay, so my only negative critique is the kick. That had so much potential with that drop, but that kick is just a little too small for my taste. It sounded good when the beat was just going, but in that drop, I really wanted to hear a nice hard kick. But yeah, that's my only negative thing to say about that. And for anyone that's, you know, when you get 808s like this with that much distortion on it, you could always just, actually what's Siamut just said. He already likes the low pass on the 808. You can low pass it even more if you want to get rid of those extra harmonics. Gabrielle says, smells like a German rapper. They use that. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I never would have thought about it until reading that comment. The best says, I agree. I feel deceived. Oh, man. Yeah, JP says the kick has to punch you in the soul. Yeah, it just built up for... it built up a perfect opportunity to just have a nice knock. That's what that kick is missing. Like, it's a nice little kick. And like I said, it sounds good like as the beat's going, but when you have a drop and then the beat comes in, you're looking for that knock, which it was missing. It's one of the things I worked on quite a bit with the InflightMuzik 2020 drum pack. Let me drop that discount code for you guys again. 40% off, 200 sounds, and every kick knocks like a muffa. All right, where do we leave off? Nev. Appreciate you doing these critiques. Started last week. Here's YouTube if you want it. Yeah, I'll go to your YouTube so that I can support you. And let me go ahead and like this video as well. Oh, you just posted this today. All right. Splash Wavy Bells 130. So yeah, when you guys do post YouTube links, go ahead and post the direct link to the beat you want me to play. Here it is. So you're posting beats every few hours. So I recommend not doing that. YouTube actually punishes you for that. So yeah, these views could be in the double digits already if you weren't doing that. You're actually taking away views from each video by doing that. So if you guys haven't noticed my upload schedule, it's a day apart. So I always leave a day. But I can tell by my analytics that I would actually improve my channel quite a bit by posting every day. So if you have this type of consistency where you can post 3 beats a day, you might as well just post 1 a day and you'll be straight. You'll get better results. I think this is the right beat. Switch out that kick. He says don't hold anything back. Oh, good call on that, Aton. Sounded like a 90s kick. Yeah, it did. I'm pretty sure it was. The melodies are a little too loud. Melodies are a little too loud. JP asked, for real, is it bad to post every few hours? Yeah. Yep. Unless you get to the level where your video, your first video of the day is already getting thousands of views, then the YouTube algorithm will keep promoting that video. But if you're only getting single digit, double digit, even triple digit views, or dare I even say even just 1,000 views, and you post another video right after that, that video gets punished. Hi, is there any way I could turn up my audio interface volume up more? I feel like that's a trick question. Go turn up. Yeah, turn up the output on your interface and then make sure your volume in your computer settings is turned up as well. I'm hearing some type of clashing with the kick in 808 too. Yeah, and it's out of key. I think it's out of key. Yeah, I think I answered everyone's question there. Yeah, I think I answered everyone's question there. If I missed someone's question, I hope you don't mind repeating it because I just scrolled up to the top to check. Hey, we are about to hit 40 viewers, y'all. We are about to hit 40 viewers. Again, I definitely appreciate all your support. Simon, what's your name on in the Discord? SoundCloud. Let me go ahead and make a comment on this too. I'm just gonna say, keep grinding, bro. But yeah, just a little, just work on the leveling a little bit. Yeah, Simon, what's your thing? Dennis, just go to my YouTube page, youtube.com/InflightMuzik. Okay, now the chat is getting it's getting hard for. I'm gonna have to have a moderator here soon. Soon. Track not found. Track not found. It's been removed. It's been removed. I don't know what to do about that. In the meantime, Critter. Oh, Simon, did I listen to your track already? Was that you? No, that wasn't you. Okay, Addis, you reset the link. All right. Interesting choice for the 808. Nice synth bass switch up. Your synth bass is louder than your 808. I like the melodies. So I like the concept for the 808, but I've heard that type of 808 that sounded better than this one, if that makes sense. Maybe EQ some of the mid-range out of those strings. Everything else sounds clean though. Yeah, I like the beat. I like the concept of the 808 as well, but I feel like the 808 could be improved. It's missing a lot of sub in that 808, so it's a lot more high end. Simut says about 6 beats down from the... Okay, so we're about to get there. David Treasure, Dixie. Yeah, Koi. Synth basses are sort of a go-to for... it matches up well with ambient type sounds. That's why I use them a lot for breakdowns. The bass is missing some body to it. Nobody Likes You says make a drum kit with 808 channel state presets. I'll buy it. I actually did plan on doing that. Something just for FL Studio producers. I totally planned on doing that. Because I want to do that for 808s and synth basses. In fact, if you go to my Instagram and go to my bio, there's 5 synth bass channel state presets that you guys can download. Yeah, I would just switch out the bass on that one. I feel like the snare is a little... No, never mind. Yeah, I'd just switch out the bass on that one. I could totally hear that you're venturing off with different types of sound selection now. Okay, this is having the same issue as the last one. The bass is almost non-existent in this one. I would transpose the track up 2 or 3 half steps. That would help the key of the bass too. But overall, it's just way too low. Maybe turn up those plucks in the background there. Yeah, everyone is saying that the bass is too high. I think they're saying that because of the lack of sub in it. So, yeah, that might be a good suggestion to actually pitch everything down. But yeah, but keep in mind when you pitch things up, you could actually go, it allows you to go lower with the bass. So, there's 2 ways to skin a cat. Yeah, someone said that I skipped a beat. I'm not sure. Doesn't seem like I did. Oh, okay, yeah. You guys are talking about with the one with the broken link. He resent the link, so we're good. I'm gonna start going through these a little faster for you guys. And then I'm gonna go over those free drum kits. And speaking of drum kits, my chat just froze. This is getting a little repetitive. The entire low end is kind of compromised. The kick is really low and the bass is really, really low. yeah, the melody is louder than all of the drums. And the melody is out of key. The melody goes into a different key. I'm going to point it out. Right there, it's out of key. It goes into a different scale. So you have one note that's not in the scale that you're using. Yep, besides that, the melody needs to be turned down. The drums need to come up. The low end needs a lot more oomph. So you got to turn up those kicks and the bass line. My chat is frozen. I'm going to try and reload it in this new window and keep that one open. Okay, yeah, let's move on to the next one. Another one from Percocet, produced by Vaughn. What do you mean nobody likes you? King Ace, no problem. Happy to give feedback. This is smooth. Yeah, congrats, Aton. I have no idea what just happened. Can you repeat what you said? Because my chat froze, so I had to reload it, so I missed whatever you just said. This is fire. Hey, thanks for the donation, Dober. Appreciate you. Aton, it sounds like you just signed something, or you're looking at a contract for, what is that about? Like I said, my chat froze, so I had to reload it, so I missed what you said. Yeah, same critique as your other beats, Vaughn. Yeah, everything's leveled nicely, good melodies, good composition, everything's nice and clean. I like it.
You don't need me like I need you. Pray that I won't be alone.
This reminds me of an artist that I met on IG.
Quick, I steady bleed, I rest in peace, damn. Yeah, I made my peace, underneath, I made my bliss, damn. Man, I know they don't like me, but I made it out on a better route, on a better crowd, onto better stuff. And I'm moving so fast, I'm an engine.
I would take out the background vocals when you start coming in and rapping. It gets a little distracting.
It's burning the fire, losing my mind when I'm writing a song. I wonder who hears me, I know they don't know. But wonder what they wonder, what do I know? I know that this music is stuck with some negative flows.
Let me support you on YouTube.
Negative flows.
Oh, okay. You're getting a record with Elysian. That's dope. Congrats, bro. Congrats.
I know that you're missing something you ain't never had, though.
Doesn't Elysian do like, aren't they, don't they sign mainly like EDM? I could be wrong. I might be thinking of, I might be confusing that name with someone else.
Yeah, life changing quick lives on my feet. I made a sin, damn, bro. I don't wanna say that I'm up, but I'm back. Every single hater gotta get them back, bro. I'm coming for you cause I know that you're wrong. I had myself doubting some negative
I like the
lows.
idea
I don't wanna
of...
penny, but it was your fault. I see that my ex is just part of it all.
Okay, so you have, so you said you did the vocal production too, am I correct? Mixed, mastered, produced, and written by me. I'm going to assume that you did the vocal production, but you have these delays, vocal delays, which are cool. But when it comes to vocal delays, you want to sidechain those so that especially in rap, when you're rapping, you don't want those delays to bleed into your words. So, man, I got to do a tutorial about this. But basically, you want to sidechain the delay to cut off anytime you start saying a word. That way, you only hear the delay at the end in the spaces, in the gaps between your words. But I'm going to say, dope song, keep grinding, bro. Hope to hear more from you soon. Yeah, there's some tutorials already out there. So, oh, Aton. Okay. So yeah, technically you are making an EDM trap. Alrighty. So yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I've heard good stuff about Elysian, in terms of, you know, getting music out there, doing fair deals. So yeah, I don't think you have too much to worry about, for real. But yeah, smart on you for looking over your contract. Nice and chill. I love the piano. Something's going on with that bass. It's out of key. The bass is out of key, bro. Ooh, really out of key. Like sometimes when people pick certain basses. Sometimes when people pick... Sorry. Sometimes when people pick certain basses or create bass lines, it's usually like 1 or 2 notes out of key. Which is understandable. This sounds like you dragged like some MIDI into it. That was just a different key. And it's clashing with your kick as well. Yeah, I would switch out that kick altogether. Aton says it sounds way too low too. Yeah, you gotta choose a totally different bass here. It sounds like you're trying to go for a real bass. Yeah, here in this section you have a real bass. Yeah, that kick, I would switch out that kick for sure. Yeah, and then you have that bass line playing with your 808 bass line, which is a no-no. Yeah, I would switch out that bass altogether. Thank you for whoever just purchased the kit. I appreciate you. Just another reminder for y'all. 40% off for today. And that sale ends as soon as we go off air, so act now. Or forever hold your peace. No, I'm kidding. I'll have another sale the next time I go live on Monday. We do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. United States Eastern Time. Good point, Witty Beats. The melodies were great on that track. So it's just the low-end issues, really. When I come back on Monday, I believe we'll be doing 30% off of the kit. Oh, thanks, Deco. I appreciate you. Uh-oh. I hope this is just a filter effect. Please hit hard. Please have a kick come in. All right. Yeah, good. Drum pattern is fire. I never talk about drum patterns. I need to talk about drum patterns more. Yeah, I like it, but you could still have that kick hit harder. Link is in the description below for the Discord, so you could submit your beats in the Discord in the beat critique section. Only takes literally 30 seconds to sign up. Witty's not a fan of the melody. Yeah, I like your transitions. Very Lex Luger. I was a fan of Lex Luger back in the 2000s. But keep in mind that does date the track a little bit, but might be what you're going for. Yeah, it needs a counter melody. Mr. The Big, I appreciate you, said he caught the kit yesterday and it's fire. Enjoy, my friend, enjoy. Turn this down a little bit. I appreciate you trying to be creative with your bass line and your kick roll there, but I think it might be taken away from the vibe of the track, if I'm being honest there. Let me listen a little longer. Yeah, I can hear that a little bit, Witty. Aton says if you pitch up the melody to make it drop harder, pitch it up 12 cents, 12 notes up. Pitch it up an octave, basically. So it sounds more clean. Cool tip, cool tip. Yeah, someone said the 808's out of key. I don't quite think it is, actually. Yeah, that one note. Yep. Good call. Yep, one of the notes is out of key, my friend. But keep grinding. Got some nice transitions. We're picking up some distortion here on this part too. Yeah. Yep. The distortion was coming from your kick and your 808 together. Take the 8. Let's check this one. Yeah, the vocal sample is fire, isn't it? Terry, what's good? You can submit your tracks in the Discord. The link is down below, and you submit in the beat critique section. Only takes 30 seconds to sign up. I already like this beat better. I'm glad your melody switches up. So I guess this is a loop from Palace. Let's hear the drop come in. Okay, yeah, right there you should have had the kick drop in as well. Everyone's loving the bells. Yeah, those bells are fire. But I'm guessing Palace made those bells. Witty Beat says, Inflight, can you make a Chainsmokers type beat? Yes, I can. But will I? Probably not anytime soon. I am working on an EDM EP, which will turn into an LP in 2021. It's called Falling Awake. I'm working with some vocal artists to complete that. So, yeah, exactly, Witty. He's pointing out that the beat's good, but not punchy. Yeah, it's missing the kick. I think he had the kick drop in right here, though. But it should have dropped in with that drop. Yeah, there's the kick all the way over here. I'm sure you had it earlier too, but yeah, anytime you have these transitions and you go into these drops, you're really wanting to impact the listener with a nice hit there. Thank you for purchasing the kick, the InflightMuzik 2020 drum pack. Whoever just did, I appreciate you. Truth Seeker Dennis says Chainsmokers are dope producers. Yeah, they're some of the best in the game. Not just on the production side either, but songwriting and vocals. Deco, I appreciate that. In Flight, the kit is lit. Dope bells. Sherry Beats, do you have this goes crazy. Dope. I could picture some St. Louis rappers over that, for real. Like, some people might think that went a little too crazy, but no, I know some boys in St. Louis that would destroy that beat with the mix and all as is. Yeah, sell that shit, bro. You could sell that shit. I missed a comment up here. Yeah, Nobody Likes You says, make a beat live. Make sure you guys subscribe to my In-Flight Music Live channel. That's youtube.com/inflightmuziklive. You could actually see it just disappeared. But if you go into the description, you can subscribe to the channel directly inside of the description. I have a link there for you. My first few live sessions were all just me making beats live. So the reason I stopped doing that was because every time I would make a drum loop or make a simple bass line, I got a copyright. So I stopped doing that, which is also why I don't save these lives on my tutorial channel, because the beats that you guys send me sometimes have samples and I get copyrights for that too. So if you want to watch replays and if you want to watch me make beats live, definitely subscribe to my In-Flight Music Live channel. That's what it's all for. And that actually brings me to another point. What was I about to say? Yeah. So I'm about to promote a beat battle here soon. So it's something that I want to do weekly as well. So either on Fridays, or I can't decide what day, but like I said, I go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5 p.m. But I think on Fridays I want to do a beat battle. And the way that it will work, I'll give you guys a sample loop. The very first one that we're going to do, we'll start this in January, so you guys can, prep or whatever. But I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be giving you guys a free sample loop, and everyone will be, they'll have to flip that loop, and whoever has the best loop will actually be entered into the actual official beat battle. So there's like a pre-battle to get people into the real battle, if that makes sense. So it's going to be a long process, and the winner is going to win something big. I haven't decided what yet, but we're talking cash prizes are probably going to be involved, all kinds of stuff. And I'm also trying to get some other big YouTube producers on board. And when I say big, I mean producers that are right around my level of subscribers, but bigger than what I am. So I'm talking like your Chews of the world, your Another Vegans, your Holies, guys like that, where I'm going to reach out to them and see if we could get some additional judges who are willing to give out some kits to the winners. So yeah, the very first one is going to happen towards the beginning of January, and we will be using samples from the drum pack. So if you already bought the drum pack, you could already start making beats using those samples, because the very first one is going to be picked from that drum pack. But for additional beat battles later on, I'll be making brand new samples that I'll be giving out to you guys for free. And, you can either enter that into the contest or not, totally up to you. But yeah, there will be a grand finale based off of the people that flip the best samples. And in those battles, you guys will be making beats from scratch. No loops allowed. One thing that I might do is give out an official beat battle drum kit, which will also be free. And that way, no one will have any excuse not to have hard-hitting drums. So it will all be based off of your talent in terms of making beats. So it won't have anything to do with, well, I couldn't find a good kit or anything like that. You'll have zero excuses. It'll be totally reliant on your mixing and mastering abilities and your ability to come up with melodies and so on and so forth. All right, that was a whole lot that I just said there. And by the way, here is the discount code, 40% off of the InflightMuzik 2020 drum pack. 200 sounds, 10 folders, includes 20 sample loops. And let's listen to this next beat. Yeah, like I said, I could totally hear, oh, we're playing the same one again. I could totally hear St. Louis rappers all over that, for sure. Dennis, this sounds totally different from some of your other stuff. I like this. Nobody Likes You asks, is halftime worth it or is gross beat good enough? Gross beat does a lot more than halftime. So yes, gross beat is good enough, and then it does more. But I don't own gross beat, so that's why I bought halftime for $12. Gross beat is like $100 when it's not on sale, or $50 or something like that. It's like 5 to 10 times the price of halftime. This is taking us on a little journey. Yeah, Ronnie, use the Discord link down below to submit beats. Dude, I love techno. This reminds me of the tracks that I used to listen to back in high school, early college years, when I'd be driving home from work with one of my roommates. We used to work for a catering service, and at the end of the night, it would be like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and we were still like ready to party, so we would just blast some techno, drive like 100 miles per hour from St. Louis back to the other side of the river in Illinois to SIUE, and fucking party it up for another 5 or 6 hours right after. But yeah, I have the signature bundle of FL Studio. I have gross beat free. Yeah, I have producer edition. So yeah, gross beat didn't come with mine, unfortunately. Yeah, there is. I do have a trial It does have a trial version in it. Nobody Likes You says, if halftime is $5, I just might cop. Is it $5, y'all? I'm pretty sure it's 12. $12. It's worth $12. Especially for some of you guys. You guys use halftime on like every beat that you guys do. Problemonalisa. Interesting name. Can I submit many times? You could submit 2. Everyone's been submitting 2. Damn, Dennis, you used FL Mobile for that? That's dope. That's dope. Oh, good question, Nakoi. Check out my Black Friday video, and I actually talk about that. That video is literally the, everyone has... Okay, we have some sound selection issues here. That piano is really dry. There's not really anything to it. The counter melody with that little delay that you have on there, that one sounds really dated. Sounds like those one finger beats, like Yin Yang Twins back in the early 2000s. So this beat all around is pretty dated. I like the bass though. But yeah, Jesus. Yeah, I think it's going to keep doing the same thing, though. Let me skip ahead. But yeah, that sounds like an early 2000s Lil Jon type. That riser is from the early 2000s, too. Yeah. I mean, it would be dope for back in the day, but I think a lot of people are going to pass on that track. Yeah, first 5 plugins new producers should get. Yeah, that Black Friday video, it's actually, the link is down in the description below. If you check that out, that video is actually dedicated to new producers that just got their DAW and don't own any third-party plugins. These are the plugins that I would suggest. watch that video because I go over like 10 different plugins. Specifically the first 5 though, you know, after you got good with using your stock plugins, a dedicated bass plugin like a Sublab, because so many of you have problems with using 808s that are out of key. Sublab is always going to be in key because it's a plugin. Scalar, I didn't go over that in that video. For any of you that are having trouble with chords and melodies, Scalar could help you out if you're brand new. What else? If you're trying to get into sound design, I recommend something like SynthMaster, or SynthMaster 1 actually, because SynthMaster 1 is 1 page, so it's really easy to learn sound design within a week just using that. And the quality is super, it's really high quality and really cheap right now. Other than that, maybe another distortion plugin if you're really trying to get into sound design again. In terms of mixing and all of that, really your stock plugin should be able to do it for you, but wait for those Waves plugins to go on sale, which they're always on sale. So there you go. But yeah, watch that video. I go over a bunch of plugins that I recommend. Sherry says, I have been skipping your comments. What did you just say? What did I miss? One finger beats. Locky Dunn, what's up? Any plugin deals you would recommend that are not on Plugin Boutique? Right now, Waves has all their plugins on sale, and also they're doing a free plugin right now, so check that out. Also go to Angelic Vibes. Everything is 50% off. I actually just picked up Elite Pianist for $7.50, and I would pay $100 for that plugin. And it's never... Actually, I think when it first came out, it was $100. Yeah, that was just off the top of my head. I would pay $100 for it, but... or maybe it was $50, but yeah, I would literally pay $100 for that plugin. And when I first found out about it, it was $15, and they just did a sale, which is still going on right now, for 50% off of everything off of their website. Who else? If you're looking for loops, check out, or, well, I don't know if they do loops. I think they do loops and sample packs and stuff. Check out ADSR, Echo Soundworks, and see what Cymatics is doing right now. I'm sure they have some stuff going on. Yeah, there you go, Sherry. Purity, Serum, Silent 1, Expand, Electra 2. Yeah, I don't know about those for new producers. I'd say if you're doing EDM, yeah, go ahead and pick up Serum as soon as you can and get started. Let me play another beat while I'm talking. Oh, we're on Aton now. Okay, this is about to be crazy, I'm sure. Definitely some EDM. Let me keep reading, because there's not going to be much that I'm going to be able to critique here, I'm sure. Do I think the low sound have to do with the DT? Not. Oh. No, I don't think so. I think it's something to do with your audio inside of your computer. Ronnie said he sent a YouTube link. I should be able to see it. Truth Seeker says Ghost Hack is dope. Yeah, this is a house beat, isn't it? Nobody Likes You says, elaborate on sublabs, how it helps with 808s being off key. Yeah, I will hear in a second. Yeah, Aton, sorry I talked over that. There's nothing wrong with this at all, obviously. Nice punchy clean kick. I like what you did with the vocal panning, the auto pan that you have going on with the vocals. It's always nice to have a little movement in your tracks, especially for a dance track, right? Like, this is dope. Yeah, no comment type beat. Exactly. Sherry says, Elite Pianist is $15. I see. Is it good? I want something like Keyscape. All right. I kid you not. I kid you not. Not only is it $15, it's actually $7.50 with the coupon code. But I kid you not. Bang for your buck. This versus Keyscape, it blows Keyscape out of the water. It only has, let me put this in quotes now, it only has 50 presets, but each one of those presets, you could alter those presets enough to like, I really don't know what I'm trying to say here, but like it has this dope filter. It has these strings that you can layer on top of each of those presets. All of them sound really, really different. I would say this, the number of sounds, the number of beats that I would make with Elite Pianist, it might be equivalent to the number of different sounds that I would use inside of Keyscape to make beats. So I would say with Elite Pianist, I could come up with probably anywhere from 300 to 400 different sounds altogether. With Keyscape, there might even be less than that I would be using out of Keyscape. And don't get me wrong, like Keyscape is hands down the best piano the best keys plugin that you can own, hands down, easily. But for the price of $400, Elite Pianist blows it away completely. I could go on and live the rest of my life without owning Keyscape because of Elite Pianist. I could easily say that. Easily. Go to angelicvibes.com and you'll be annoyed with how often they show you the coupon. Everything that you click will show you their 50% off coupon. But anyone in the chat, please tell me if I'm lying. If you have both Keyscape and Elite Pianist, I mean, go ahead and state your opinion. Don't just agree with what I'm saying. Like, I'm promising you, like, I'll never get tired of this plugin. I'll never get tired of it. But anyway, Samsung. And, yeah, I don't want it to sound like, what was that Mortal Kombat that was just playing? Anyway, I don't want it to sound like I'm just saying this because of what I'm about to tell you. But for real, like, those are some of the best plugins that I've gotten my hands on, especially their free Iota Mini plugin. But I'm actually going to be working with Angelic Vibes here soon directly. Bloodline, you could send your beats through the Discord. The link is in the description below, and then just enter it into the beat critique section. But yeah, so I am going to be working with Angelic Vibes directly here really soon, and I'll definitely have a tutorial on Elite Pianist for sure. But that's after we work out all the details, because I did the Iota Mini video just for, just because I wanted to, because it was too good not to tell you guys about it. It was too good not to tell you guys about it. But yeah, they want me to make videos for them to do plugin reviews, and they want me to, yeah, basically that. So Elite Pianist is basically a piano VST, right? Yes, but it's not just a piano VST. You can make any of those pianos into pads, and I wouldn't call it a piano VST. It's keys. So there's a knob that just turns any of that layers all the keys with a Rhodes. So yeah, the thing's sick. It's sick. So it just has a lot of modern sounds that work perfect for the type of beats that you're hearing nowadays, especially in trap music. Like, it's definitely geared towards modern production. So it's not just regular old pianos. You can get pianos anywhere now. This has, and that's why I like it more than Keyscape, because Keyscape is an emulation VST where it's just emulating real life pianos. This is more like they've done some work in the sound design and came out with dope sounding keys that you're not going to be able to find anywhere else. If you're looking for strictly pianos, then not that Elite Pianist doesn't have pianos in it. It definitely does. But Keyscape is still the #1 plugin for real pianos. Oh yeah, let me go over the whole sublab thing. So the reason 808s are out of key when you buy a plugin pack is because the 808s aren't tuned to middle C. So whenever so say you pulled up a piano VST and you started playing the keys, well, all those keys are going to match up to the exact notes on the piano roll. But if you were to load up an 808 and its root note is matched up to like E sharp, well, now everything that you play on the piano or everything that you place on the piano roll isn't going to be the real notes that it's actually playing. And that's why your 808s get out of key. So sublab, it being a VST where everything's mapped to your piano roll, whatever note you hit is the note that's coming out. That's how it helps. So it's impossible to play out of key. So whatever key you decide, if you have FL Studio and use scale highlighter, whatever you click in is exactly what it's playing. So if you were to use scale highlighter and use 808 that's out of key from a random pack, say the 808 is B flat, well, everything that you use in that scale highlighter is going to be useless because every time you hit a note, it's not the note that it's really playing. So that's the advantage of using a synth or a VST or a plugin versus using a random sample that could be in any key. And like I said, all of the 808s and the basses in the InflightMuzik 2020 drum pack are tuned to middle C, so everything is in key. So what you play is what you get. And again, here's the discount code. Again, I don't understand why people release these drum kits and they don't tune their 808s. It's stupid. Hear a little tasteful distortion on the reverbs, on the delays here. It's kind of cool. Mortal Wombat. Yeah, we need a counter melody in there. The whole beat is just the that melody, that delayed melody. We need a little more variation. I thought you were about to go nuts. At least change the drum pattern. You hear how the hi-hats are. Go with 16-note hi-hats after. I mean, this is just, an idea. After that drop where you did the turntable, the tape stop effect. Like, it would be dope if the drums just went nuts there. Yeah, Samson says, need a second lead. Makasso. Ballin. He made this yesterday. Someone said in the chat earlier that Ballin was dope, so. Nice synth bass. Ikoi, there isn't a best, there is no best instrument for counter melodies. Every instrument can be used for a counter melody. You could even use the same instrument as your main melody. I don't recommend that. I recommend having something different, but another good idea for counter melodies is to pay attention to note lengths and ADSR envelopes. This is real smooth. I like this. So if your main melody is like really choppy 1/8 notes or quarter notes or whatever, or really choppy 16th and 8th notes, make sure your counter melody is using longer notes, and vice versa. If you're using really long notes for your main melody, use smaller notes for your counter melody. And offset your melodies. Make sure they're not playing at the same time. You can have them play at the same time, but having some variation helps. Think about the rhythm of the two. So if your main melody is playing long sustained notes and it has a particular rhythm, change the rhythm with your counter melody. Yeah, this is a great example of what I was just saying. Like, so you have the piano up top, but he has this counter melody come in with that whistle. It's long sustained notes. So that's the whole idea behind counter melodies. Naka. Woody pointed out that the drop was quiet. Yeah. JP, was it you that said the tempo could be slower or faster on a couple of the other beats? Is it the same person saying that over and over again? I wasn't sure. Can I do a video on how to get latency out of your beats? So everyone's sound card will be different, but pay attention to your buffer size. The higher your buffer rate, your buffer size is, the less latency you'll get. Or the backwards. The lower your buffer size is, the less latency you'll get. And that really is the only thing that you can do. Another thing that could help with latency, inside of FL Studio, you'll have you'll be able to adjust your latency on your individual tracks as well. Dude, this is nice and chill. Good vibes, good sound selection. Those vocals are dope. I feel like maybe those sweeps can be turned down a little bit. But yeah, here at the bottom of your channels, of your tracks, these control your latency. So you could set the latency in milliseconds, samples, set in beats, and adjust those. But there's no trick to it. You just use your ears. Also go in here, go to plugin delay compensation. I always have mine set to automatic. So when you start adding plugins that have delay or timing issues with your tracks, FL Studio automatically corrects it for you. But yeah, outside of that, I really don't have any other tips for latency. Yeah. Bloodline says, so when I export my beats into MP3, yeah, great track. I want to hear more from you. I'm just curious about your style there. Dober, oh, too loud, I didn't notice it at the very beginning. So when I export my beats into MP3 and Wave, it sounds great, but once I make a visual for YouTube, the video comes out like compressed or just not the same. Yeah, speaking of YouTube, if you right click and go to stats for nerds, you could see it says volume / normalized, and then you'll see content loudness 0.1 dB. These are the numbers that you're really looking for YouTube. So basically, YouTube is saying that this beat is 0.1 dB louder than the average beat or track or video on YouTube. So if this is like something crazy like 6 dB or even, like 6 dB, then that means your track is 6 dB too loud. If it says -6, that means it's -6 dB too low. So really the range that you're looking for, this is great. This is about perfect. The range that you're looking for is like -1 or +1, -2, +2. Once you start getting into -3 or +3, maybe you want to make some changes, but even then I kind of leave it alone. But yeah, once you're towards like -6 or +6, yeah, you got some issues with your master.
Is it still good?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Dober. It's not crazy loud with the open hat, but yeah, it can be turned down for sure. Maybe a little reverb on your hats, because yeah, it sounds like the track is trying to be ambient, but the dryness of the drums kind of takes away from that. Yeah, the melodies are dope. Yeah, Dennis is pointing out how YouTube changes loudness to reference -14 LUFS. And that's where these numbers are coming from for stats for nerds. So they're literally, basically if you're over, so like this one, 0.1 dB, this literally means YouTube turned your beat down by 0.1 dB so that it matches loudness. One thing YouTube doesn't do is turn your beats up. So if you're too low, your beat's going to sound really low. So yeah, that's why you want to stay away from extreme numbers. Tech Kid, what's up? Good to have you back. I just saw a question. Terry says, I have a really hard time creating trap. What am I doing wrong? What part of creating trap are you having issues with? Is it melodies? Is it bass? Is it chords? Is it drums? Nobody Likes You asks, anyone use a transient processor plugin? I do sometimes on my drum track, on my drum bus. I kind of stopped doing that just from laziness, really. But a lot of times, one thing that I really like doing was adding a transient shaper and then adding some saturation on top of that. Really got my drums to punch. Terry says melodies. Cool. Check out, go to the description of this video and click on my free dark trap melodies MIDI pack, and in that video I give tips and tricks on how to make trap melodies automatic. And then melodies and placement. Check out, go to my main YouTube channel. My main YouTube channel page. This is dope right here. And click on the search and search for my what is it called? Shit. Let me just pull up the tutorial because I forget what it's called. Dope, dope, dope. I love that flute-like sound with the vibrato on it. That's really dope. It just has a nice texture to it. This whole beat all around has just really nice texture to it. Yeah, this is fire. And it's prod.
NS cooking some fire, baby. Some fire, baby.
These melodies are fire. Waiting for the bass to come back in. The bass is good, but the kick sounds a little too rounded off. Which is making it not really hit very hard. Okay, Terry, type in, go to my main channel page and search for my Juicy J melody tutorial. Type in Juicy J, let me see. And I do all kinds of tips and tricks in terms of melodies in there. Yeah, the sound selection on this track is totally on point. Like, yeah, this is a dope vibe. Actually, Terry, just type in trap melody tips and tricks, and then in the thumbnail you'll see Juicy J, let me see. It's a green thumbnail. Yeah, that's fire. Where are those sounds from? I would guess like Philharmonic 2 or something. Just sounded nice. In terms of like realism. Nice and organic. I think my chat is frozen again, so I'm gonna reload it in this new screen. Nine Skies. Ada says he's sampled by myself. No, I'm saying what did you sample? I mean, that's dope if you play violin. It's a lot of drones and ambient vibes. No real melodies yet. It just had this nice little ambient melody in the background, which is cool. Jonathan asks, what's a good budget or free synth for sound design for beginners? Check out my Black Friday video down below, and you'll see that there is a link to Synthmaster. I'd say that is the best budget synth for sound design to get started with. For free, I don't really have any for free that I would suggest in terms of learning sound design. The closest thing would be Synth 1, but it's so dated you might as well just pay the $30 for, or $40 or something like that for Synthmaster and get something that's modern and that really is worth more than $100 for sure. Ada said he sampled himself, and then he said, from a classic Arabian cello performance. Did you play a cello in a classic Arabian band or orchestra at some point in your life? Is that what you're saying? Because that would be dope as hell. And if you could recommend one that caters more towards trap soul and or R&B would be great. Yeah, again, Synthmaster. You weren't here earlier, but I literally said everything that you just asked about about Synthmaster. It's literally that compared to all other synths. It's literally that. I would pick that synth over like Serum for modern trap, because of the initial sound that it has and the filters that are in it. It's easier to get the trap vibes. And not only that, the presets that come in it, a lot of them just work. And I would say that not even one preset from Serum is anywhere near trap. Bad tuna salad. What's up, Porter? The philosophy on the differences between cost and value. Yeah, the cost of Synthmaster is definitely worth more than worth its value. Shaman type beats. Bye. Bye. Check you later. Oh, that's an actual producer, huh? Mark Shaman? Okay. Daku. I recognize the name. I recognize the name from when I first started my channel. I believe we're subbed to each other on my Beats channel, Rap on Tracks. Yeah, and just by listening to this, yeah, I definitely sub to you. Because I typically don't sub to trash. Oh, bro, you see it? You see I ain't lying. You see I ain't lying. Yeah, I'm sub to you, bro.
It's that cool.
Simo, good call on the snare, because yeah, the snare is super, super unique, and it is fire. It is fire. This snare is crazy fire. Terry Van says, asks, do I collaborate? Not with producers, no. The only time I collaborate with producers is if we're working with the same artist. Terry says, I mean with new people. Yeah, same answer. Yeah, let's move on to the next one. That is straight fire, as always, Daku. That's awesome. Witty Beats.
Witty Beats go crazy.
He's been pretty active in the chat today. Looks like we're getting towards the end here, so I'm gonna start breezing through these a little faster. Ooh, love the vibe, bro. Hey, thanks for the purchase. I appreciate that, whoever that was. And again, just as a reminder, 40% off the InflightMuzik 2020 drum pack. 200 sounds, 10 folders, 20 sounds in each, including 20 sample loops. Sample loops will be used for the upcoming beat battle in January. Prepare yourselves. Bro, good leveling, nice clean mix. And right when I said that, we get a resonant frequency with your hi-hat there. So it sounds like it's coming from right around 7 to 8K. You might want to do a dip on your hi-hat right around there, like a really narrow dip. Yeah, actually I have a link down below for Synthmaster. If anyone is looking to purchase, I am a plugin boutique affiliate. And that definitely helps out the channel if you guys want to purchase directly from my link at no additional cost to you. So, funny story, a few months ago when we had contact, I had around 200 subs. Yeah, I know. Somehow one beat took off on YouTube without me doing something, and now I'm at 5K. Hell yeah, brother. And you know what's really impressive about that is there's a list of producers that I started my beat channel with. You were one of them. There was a few others, and Daku's the only one that's reached over 5,000 subs. He's the only one. A couple of them have hit 1K, 2K. I think another one's done 3K, but yeah, Daku has almost double the amount of subs as everyone else that started their YouTube channels last year. So yeah, take a look at his upload schedule, take a look at the type of beats that he's uploading, and most of all, pay attention to the quality, because it's the quality that really matters. And I could easily say that he's one of the highest quality producers out here that just started their YouTube channel. So check him out. This beat is fire. Super, super, super clean mix. Just got to get rid of that resonant frequency with that hi-hat and you're good. That's fire, bro. Lil Slime. Kick is a little weak, I know. Well, let's talk about your kick. This track is called Apocalypse. Man, that's really unfortunate because this track definitely deserves a nice hard kick. Dang. This track would be so lit if you had the right kick, bro. You already know your problem. Everything else is fire. Yeah, that kick is almost non-existent. Like, you can only really hear it when it's playing by itself. Daku says, don't look at my upload schedule. I'm super inconsistent. Which, again, makes my point about quality. Jonathan says, Synthmaster version 2.9. For a beginner, I recommend Synthmaster 1 instead. And I believe you might save like $10 by getting Synthmaster 1. But yeah, go ahead and get Synthmaster 1. Hey, I appreciate that. VIP Hood Pass says he purchased Sublab from my affiliate link. Joint is fuego. Yeah, hands down the best low-end plugin ever made. And I don't think anyone's gonna beat them either, because you would literally have to copy their plugin, because they did everything right. Jonathan says, sorry if I should know this. I don't know how to make beats starting from square one. No, you have nothing to apologize for. The reason I recommend Synth 1, yeah, that beat's fire. The reason I recommend Synth 1 is because it's all on one page, and it's easy for beginners to start sound designing and not get lost in the sauce, so to speak. I think I said that exact thing in my Synthmaster, in my Black Friday video. Bro, no. That sweep is way too loud. Like, I couldn't even hear my voice right there. Hey, take care, nobody likes you. I appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back Monday, 5 p.m. United States Eastern Time. See you then. Melody's getting a little too repetitive. Those phasing sweeps have to get turned down. The low end is non-existent. That bass needs to be turned up. The kick needs to be turned up. Bell's way too loud. It sounds like you might be making beats in a compromised environment. So it sounds like either the speakers you're listening on, no matter how good they are, it sounds like your room is giving you some issues. And if you're using headphones, either you're using really high-end headphones that are enhancing your bass, which is why your bass is really low. So it's tricking you into thinking the bass is good, or you're listening on really, really bad headphones where you can't even hear what's going on in the low end. Yeah, that just comes with time, Terry. You'll get there. Daku, thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate it. Have a good one out there. Terry Van says headphones. Yeah. The great thing about headphones, eventually you'll get used to the pitfalls of your headphones. There are no perfect headphones, so at the end of the day, you'll eventually start to know what's right and what's wrong. Yeah, exactly. So I was right. So yeah, the bass and the kick sound loud in your headphones. It's because your headphones are enhancing your bass and your low end, and it's giving you an unrealistic image of what is actually going on. Influxus, what's up, man? He asks, would open or closed ear headphones be better? Open ear headphones are definitely better because it creates a more realistic environment for your ears. Because when you have closed earphones, like the ones that I have, it creates an artificial environment that's not realistic because everything's directly in your ear. So that's not how people naturally listen to things. But over time, you start adjusting for that and you get used to what's right and what's wrong in your pair of headphones. So at the end of the day, as long as you're getting quality headphones that are somewhat balanced or flat and not, high-end consumer like Beats headphones, that's not what you want. You want studio headphones that are meant for monitoring your sound. So the headphones that I have are Sony HDR 7506s. MDR 7506s. So Terry says, was told open for mixing, closed for mastering. Is that true? I've never heard that before. It's interesting. I would say not true. And I would actually go further to say that, especially for mastering, you definitely are looking more for monitors when you're mastering. Because the whole point of mastering is to make sure that your music sounds good everywhere. And most people aren't listening to masters on closed headphones. Most people are listening to music on, open environments on speakers. And if they're not, then they're using these guys, Apple earbuds. So that's why I keep my earbuds around, so that I can make sure that 90% of the population, when they're listening on their phone or through headphones, I can hear exactly what they're hearing. But hardly anyone's listening to music on closed headphones. So that really actually doesn't make sense. Nice. The baby type beat? Yep. Dude, I like this. Whatever that sound is. But bro, how are you not getting a copyright for this though? How are you not getting copyrighted for this? It's the exact bass line. Yeah, that low sound, it sounds dope. I don't know what to even call that, but it's dope. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just going to cycle through the same thing again. Sounds dope, though. Plenty of space for the rapper. I heard a vocal chant come in. Yeah. That's dope. I feel like a rapper is definitely going to want to just go nuts on that. Normally, I would say I want more change-ups in the arrangement and all that, but, the baby type beats, that's how it goes. That's how they go. Oh no, what happened? Flow X Records, I have that tutorial coming out within the next, sometime in December, but it's coming. 808 pattern placement, it's coming, bro. I can't wait until I'm done with these tutorials, man. Like, I'm so close, because like now 90% of my comments, I can just say, like 90% of my responses to comments that ask questions, I've been able to say, oh yeah, watch this video, which was the whole point of me starting this channel. But I'm almost there. And yeah, the 808 pattern placement tutorial, that's one that's needed. I haven't done that yet. Yeah, Simo. Yeah, everyone hears it. Yeah. This is the most phase cancellation that I've ever heard in any beat today. Yeah. Sounds like you're using a stereo imaging plugin somewhere in there, and it's canceling out everything. Actually, I'm going to show you. I'm just going to show you so people can visually see what the issue is when you use stereo imaging plugins the way that you did. And maybe you didn't. Maybe those are like the samples that you used or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm about to show you guys, because this is really important. And this is another reason why I recommend plugins like Span, because it just reconfirms what you might be hearing in a visual aspect. But yeah, let's see. What was the name of that? Crap. Turn up. Okay. So I'm just going to drag this in here, and I'm going to find out exactly what I'm talking about. So let's pull up Span. Span. And let's go ahead and take a listen here. And what I want you to pay attention to is the correlation meter right here. And this is telling you whether or not your beat is going to translate to a mono speaker system or not. So if your correlation meter goes past this 0 point, that means it's not mono compatible. And I'm guessing we're going to see this meter go somewhere right around here and then peak even past this 0.5 mark. That's what I'm guessing. That's what I think I'm hearing. Normally you want it right around this green, and you want it to touch 0 every once in a while if you are trying to get a nice wide sound. But yeah, let's pay attention here. Let me move this up. Actually, here we go. Here we go. See. So yeah, you never want it at any point to cross this 0 point. So not only did it cross right here, it actually did peak right here, exactly where I told you. So yeah, you have some type of weird phasing issue going on, especially with the low end. Another thing that can be causing that, too much compression and too much limiting. So when you squash all your frequencies together, it literally will change your wave shapes, your waveforms inside of each individual sound, and that could cause more phase cancellation. So that's why we're hearing all this weird stuff going on. And that's not even to say sometimes you could be in the green and still get phase cancellation. And that's really something that you got to just really pay close attention to. So just because it's in the green doesn't mean that it's good. You want to pay attention to whether or not you hear sounds start to get hollowed out. And yeah, unfortunately, that is what we're hearing. Let me skip ahead here. Yeah, right here. It's really bad in terms of the phasing. Yeah, right there. You could hear a pumping effect, and that's from over compression. So you have a couple things going on there. So yeah, maybe you didn't necessarily use a stereo imaging plugin that made it super wide. I think a lot of it is coming from over compression. But yeah, let's move on. I think we're getting close to the end here. Let me support you on YouTube. Is that Vox and that bass? I heard it too. It's that Vox and that bass. Yeah. What is going on here? Dude, that intro totally confused the crap out of me, but when the track finally dropped, this was great. Akoya asks, is Sublab really good for 808s and kicks, even for newbies? It's actually what I recommend for someone starting out, so you never have problems with 808s. But it doesn't make kicks. You can make a kick out of it, but it's really more for 808s and synth basses. Yeah, I love this track. Yeah, I was about to say I could hear hints of reverses, and then you went all out with the reverses here at the end. I'm glad I kept playing it. Yeah, that's dope. Little lo-fi. I think that's the first lo-fi track that we've heard here. Oh shit. Okay, Simo used the 2020 drum pack on this one. And speaking of which, here's 40% off. Melodies are fire, but I would work on the drums. I'm totally kidding. Totally kidding. Sublab. Terry, check out the Black Friday video in the description. And I actually, scratch that. Go to my newest video on my channel, and I go over Sublab. And then there's a link for you to purchase it in the description as well. Oh, no problem, Terry. Yeah, bro. Nice thick clap, hard-hitting kick, solid low end, and the melodies are fire. And really that, I kind of mentioned it earlier today, like, if you get really nice sounding chords from the get-go, you're going to be able to come up with much better melodies. So really focus on what chords you're putting into your beats, because it opens up the opportunities for different melodies. Yeah. Fire, fire, fire. Nice and clean. Ronnie Beats. Let's support you on YouTube. Flow X Records says, I can hear your 808s on my phone speakers. Indeed. I made it a point to make sure that anyone that's just starting out gets 808s that actually sound good on any system, no matter what. To the point where I actually show in my Sublab tutorial how to, if it's too much, you can throw a filter on those 808s and clean them up a bit, depending on your style of production, which I can tell Simo absolutely did. Those 808s sound like that because of his mixing. So, yeah. But yeah, as is, the 808s, you could hear all the 808s coming through the speakers. Thanks, Simo. I appreciate your support, bro. Prime Time says you could turn bad 808s into good 808s. Yeah, I spent most of my life doing that. There's more trash 808s out there than good ones. That's why you hear the same 4 808s on every beat. Fly a shell. Trilla. This is dope. Terry asks, is there any VST comparable to Sublab for a starving artist? Nope. There isn't. Primetime says, spins on everything these days. Spins and Zay all day. Bruh, you're selling this shit, right? Yep. You got this available on BeatStars. Yeah, that beat will sell all day. That beat will sell all day. Nothing wrong with it. Raphael with beat number 8. This is his 8th beat ever, y'all. Love the ear candy. Oh, shit. Old school hip hop vibes. Y'all hear that swing on it, right? Love the keys too, nice and smooth. Bro, is this a drum loop? Or did you program these drums yourself? Yeah, this dude just started making beats like days ago. Yeah, bro. You're so in tune with rhythm, man. I think that's one thing that people underestimate when it comes to melodies. The importance of rhythm in your melodies. That's kind of what I mentioned a little bit earlier with counter melodies. You want to pay attention to the rhythm of your main melody and counter that with a different rhythm for your counter melody. Deidara Sama says, do you have to record the 808 in Edison to get it from Sublab, or is there a render option in the VST? Excellent question. They just released the render option in the latest version of Sublab, so it's inside of Sublab. And guys, check out my Sublab video that I just dropped this morning. It's my newest video on my channel. Go check that out. I go over all of that. And I recommend you guys watch that before buying it so that you know what you're getting into and why you should get into it. Yeah, Raphael says all programmed, not quantized at all. Yeah, and again, that goes back to why Raphael's so good, because he comes from a composing background. A composing It does sound like you do have a background for being a Brazilian, Raphael. But yeah, he does everything with his fingers, bro. It's all from his fingertips. Yeah, I do all my drums with the piano roll. So that's one thing that I haven't gotten into. I do all of my melodies and whatnot with my keyboard, with my fingers. But when it comes to drums, I have a fake swing on my shit. So my drums aren't as organic. That's also why I don't make a lot of hip hop. I make more trap, and trap's more on the grid, and I just use some timing delays. Let's go to Ronnie. Oh, no, we just listened to Ronnie, right? No, we didn't. Is this a... Yeah, this is a new one. And for those of you that are more familiar with Sublab, there's a link down below to purchase it. It's only $40 right now. I appreciate if you do use my link. I get a little kickback from that, and it costs you no extra money at all. It's just a little support for the channel. I appreciate it. Yeah, Ronnie, you did it again. Dude, you could use that as a tag. Probably doesn't sound so clean with my computer in the background going nuts. Oh, your tag is already very similar to that. Giga Todd says, I have to get a new computer. I'll purchase the 2020, then I'll purchase the 2020 drum pack. Sounds good. Yeah, bro. Real clean. Everything's hitting nice. Dope guitar loop. Yeah, Lil TJ. I can hear that. I'm not familiar with who Rilo Rodriguez is, though. But yeah, I love the track, man. That will definitely sell as well. FlowX Records says, how can I send you my beats? Are there any links for that? Yep, down in the description below. Hit up the Discord, and then you could submit in the beat critique section. Raphael says the hi-hats, I just push the notes lightly a bit to the right, so they are out of the grid. And what also helps is velocity control. He uses the, Raphael uses the every other note velocity trick. And he does the same thing for the kick. And that makes sense for a hip hop beat. There's always swing on them kicks as well. Yeah, I like to humanize my hi-hats, not just with velocity, but also with fine-tuned pitches and cutoff and resonance, because no one hits a hi-hat exactly in the same spot. So if you're using a real drummer, you're gonna have varying pitches, varying brightness. So yeah, I usually do that in FL Studio. Got a little distortion there from the filter. These melodies are fire. The only critique that I have, negative critique that I have, is the kick is a little, I keep saying this, but it's a little rounded, which makes it not hit as hard as it could. But it works. Yeah, that's just me nitpicking. And Raphael's pointing out the 8-bit. Yeah, it's dope. It's dope. And that's actually where the distortion was coming from when you did the filter sweep. But, oh, yeah, bro. We are at the end here. Someone just asked if they could submit a beat. I believe that was FlowX. Let me know if this is you or not. Otherwise, I will try to wait before we head on out. I am so happy we got through all, everybody. Prime time. Yes, I do. Go to my 808 tutorials, and I have some tips on kicks and 808s together. The way you EQ your kick is totally based on your 808. And yeah, good point, Raphael. Also check out the tips and tricks section. There's an image of Raphael's compression and EQing on his kicks to get them to fit into his beats. So check that out as well. Yeah, that tag had me going. I would switch out the kick. It's a baby kick. I could tell that, I'm assuming the kick is a sample, you know, just a one shot. Sounds like someone over compressed the kick, so there's no body in it. That's one thing that people don't realize about compression. People try and use compression to make things louder, but literally compression is shrinking the sound. Compression is making the sound smaller, which is why every compressor has a gain makeup knob to turn it back up. But sometimes you take out so much of the kick, it doesn't matter how loud you make it, it's gonna be a little baby kick. And that was one of the biggest problems in the late 90s, early 2000s. Like, everyone was over compressing everything. So especially with these drum packs now, like, you really don't want to add too much compression to your individual sounds. It's cool if you are going to use compression, put it on your drum bus and compress things as a group, not just an individual sound. But that's what it sounds like happened to this kick. Like, all we hear is just the transient of the kick, and then everything's ducked down. So there's like a nice little, the attack knob's probably turned to the right, letting the attack of the kick come through, but the body of the kick is almost non-existent. Yeah, it's just this little transient thing. And then you're using the 808 to make up for it, which sounds okay, but when the 808's not playing, like say you do an 808 dropout and all you have left is just that kick sitting there, you're going to lose that feeling of low end and punch and power. And you're missing the opportunity of having even more punch and power in the low end while the 808 is playing if you had a different kick. Yep, that's all I would have to say about that. Primetime says, okay, thank you, cut out the lows and EQ out some of the high end. That'll clean up the kick, but I already sidechained my kicks to my 808. I need more of a changing the way the kick hits inside of the mix from round to punchy. No problem. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, if you have a round kick, you want to square it off a little bit. That's why, especially in modern production, modern trap production. So like in my InflightMuzik 2020 pack, basically you don't ever want to, like there's a lot of drum packs out there with, excuse me, with their kicks already clipped. And if you clip the kick, you can't unclip it, so it's already clipped. What I did was I made these kicks nice and punchy, as loud as they can. FlowX Records asks, is SSL good for drum bus? Yeah, it's one of the best plugins for drum bus. Yeah, so already this kick has some nice body and punch to it. So it's hitting pretty hard, but what you can do, go into the pre-computed effects, turn on clipping, and then just give it a slight boost, and then you'll see these rounded, or yeah, I'll call them rounded. They're more pointy than anything, which is why this kick has so much power, or you know, nice attack punch right here at the beginning. You see these are pointier, and then they kind of round off as they go. Well, you can go ahead and square these off just slightly, and it'll add even more, should I say, hardness to the kick. So now you can see that these peaks are squared off instead. So now it's smacking a little harder. So all these kicks are designed like that, where you have potential to clip them if you need more clipping. And then without it. So yeah, there you go. And that works for anyone's kicks, really. So here's a nice round kick right here. This combat kick. So let's go ahead and square that off. Squared off. That's going to punch through every single time. Let's see. Raphael says, or asks, can I show how to make a drum bus? Yep, sure can. So here's all my drums. To highlight, press Control and click and drag, left click and drag, and then click on whatever you want to make your bus. Crap, that didn't work. Click and drag, and then click the little triangle at the bottom here. Can you guys see this? Yeah, you can. Oh, let me move this up. Click any of these triangles at the bottom here, and then select route to this track, or route to this track only. So now all these are routed to this track, and that is your drum bus now. So yeah. And here's my drum bus. So all these were routed to this bus right here. Where would I find those options on FL12? You can't. They're not in FL12, which is why FL12 sucks. Which is why everyone kept using FL11 for so long. But when FL20 came out, yeah. And unfortunately, that kind of exposes people that are using pirated copies of FL Studio. Hate to say it, prime time, but yeah. Yeah, prime time. I'm talking about what I just showed you with the kicks. Yeah, bro. Get the real thing, man. Get the real thing. That's like reason number 197 that you should have FL20. FL20 is literally FL11 with improvements on all the stuff that they liked about FL11. But yeah, let me make sure I got this right. Primetime says, Dave. Primetime says, when I make enough money from selling beats, I'll get 20. Yeah, you might make more money from selling beats if you had 20 and were able to use the pre-computed effects for real, for real. No, I'm totally just messing with you. Totally just messing, bro. But no, I do recommend at least owning your DAW. Yeah. That was the first thing that I ever bought back in 2000, whatever it was. Just to be completely transparent with you guys, my first copy of FL Studio was FL Studio 4. That was given to me on a CD by one of my friends, Breezy, who got it from another friend, Seneca, Wolfgang. So, yeah, I totally understand the whole pirating, but back in my day, we used CDs. There wasn't no downloading or whatever. Like, Napster just became a thing. Some of y'all might not even know what Napster is. That's so crazy. But yeah, the word pirating wasn't even a thing, really. But yeah, shortly and at the time, I didn't really use FL Studio 4. I was more into just playing on my piano and making melodies and stuff like that. So I'd make songs all with just piano. And then after a while, I did decide to get into making beats. But when I did, I bought FL Studio 6. So it was about 2 years later before I ever started making beats, even though I had a pirated copy of FL Studio. And I'll say this too, like owning a copy of your DAW will get you to make better beats just because you'll spend more time doing it. It'll get you to spend more time doing it. Sir Biz Makes says, I didn't even know it was illegal. Well, I'm glad to be here to inform you. Yeah, it's illegal. It is illegal. But yeah, I think we are going to call it and end it on that note. Let me go ahead and post this one last time, because right after this stream ends, this discount code will no longer work. So here is 40% off of the InflightMuzik 2020 drum pack, which makes it only $18. It will definitely be the best $18 that you'll spend this Black Friday if you are a music producer. Raphael says, man, imagine this. Dollar is 4 times the value of Brazilian money. I did not know that. I bet you Bad Tuna Salad knew that, though. He trades currency for a living. Sir Bizmix says, no, back then. Oh, yeah, me too. Me too, bro. I didn't know it was illegal either. I just thought a friend was giving me a CD, and I was like, oh, cool. I didn't think anything of it. But yeah. And the only reason I got FL Studio 6 was because it flat out was better. It was better. And when I started, there was no free lifetime updates either. So even having the illegal copy and all that, yeah. None of that existed. Very different times. Cherie says, I'm trying so hard to understand Sublab. Need to step up my 808 game when it comes to tuning. Man. Well, go to my main channel and click on my 808 tutorials, and I believe the very first one will help you with tuning your 808. Not only will it help you tuning your 808, but it will help you to tune, if you're using sample loops, it will help you tune any sample loop to whatever key that you're using. It's what I consider as the best tutorial when it comes to tuning on the internet. Yeah, because like I said, not only does it help you tune your 808s, but it'll help you tune anything. So sample melodies, so on and so forth. I feel like this is too high. There we go. That's better. That's better. That's sad to hear. You're still having some issues, huh? Another trick you could do, you want your 808 to, let me go to my basses. So I believe this isn't tuned. So if I pull up a piano, let me pull up FL keys. Ooh, let me pull up Elite Pianist. I've been talking about this shit. Giga Todd tells the same story, bootleg CD until he purchased the real thing. Yeah, Elite Pianist is no joke. That's the very first preset right there. And they all are fire. They all are fire. But anyway, so what you want to do is play middle C on your VST instrument. And you want to match that tone with your 808. A great way to do that, go into your 808, and where basically you're going to see that this is on C. Tune it up like 5 octaves. 1, 2, 3. Here's 3 octaves up. Oh, hold on. Let me go to the 808. Cherie says, young Kiko said, Akio said, put the octave 5 times up. You'll find the key always works. How? By using your ears. It's not a magic trick. That's why I feel like the tutorial that I did is a lot better than that. But yeah, if you're trying to do that, that's actually what I'm showing you right now. So here in Elite Piano, you're listening to middle C, and you want to match that with your 808. So you could tell that they're the same note. But if I were to... Wait. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Because I thought that this was out of key. But now it's telling me that I just put it in key. What is middle C? Type that into Google and they'll show you a picture. Actually, I guess you could see this keyboard right here, right? So this is, well, right here. C5. This is middle C. So that will be, that's actually default when you go into FL Studio and go into that section. So if I click on this wrench tool, you'll see that it's tuned to C5. So when let me do a quick example of an 808 that's out of key. Okay, that's not a good example because most of those are in key. Kits. Oh, by the way, I said I was going to go over free kits for you guys. So all these are free kits except for a couple. Like I bought a kit from my Presents Super Drums Volume 1. So that one's not free. But I think all the rest of these are free kits. So yeah, look at those names and download those. If you're doing trap, I recommend downloading the Young Kiko kit. Chronicles of the Atlantic Trap sound kit. Yeah, check that out. That's a good one. But let me go into my Echo Soundworks. He has some 808s that are out of key on purpose, but like I said, it never makes sense to me. 808 volt. Yeah, so here's one that's F sharp. So you'll go into FL Studio and you'll see that it's tuned to C. But when you press C on another instrument, it's totally off. So when it's labeled F sharp like that, I believe if you change the root note to F sharp, it'll make it in key. So I always do this backwards. So here's G, here's F, wait, here's F sharp. No, that's A sharp. Oh, I'm going backwards. Yeah, F sharp. So now it should be tuned. Yeah, that's the same note. So at the end of the day, it's just about using your ears. Primetime says, to be honest, if you have a 808 that's out of key, just throw the whole kit away. I have so many downloads in my PC right now, it's running slow. Here's another tip that could help you 80% of the time. So if you have an 808, right click, go to edit in audio editor, and that'll bring up Edison. Right click and go to regions and select detect pitch regions, and it'll tell you what key the 808 is in 80% of the time, 8 times out of 10. And this says F sharp. So then you go into your piano and then you would right click on F sharp, and now your 808 will be in key. So yeah, I think those are probably the 2 best tips in terms of tuning 808s outside of that tutorial. So do we have any more questions, concerns before I log off here? I'm about to go drink some beer. Ooh, good call, Raphael. Serato Sample probably does it. That has that's on sale right now too for $40. Yeah, he says it's the best plugin he's bought. Yeah, for sampling, I don't think there is a better plugin. I used to DJ, and yeah, Serato is world renowned. Their software is it's where it's at in terms of key matching. Yeah, that's where it's at. Jazzy Fox, what's up? You know what's a good one too? Go into Newtone and put the sample from the sampler in it. Yeah, and to do that, you can again just right click and click edit in edit in pitch corrector, and that'll bring up Newtone. Again, I have producer edition of FL Studio, so I actually don't have this plugin, so it's in trial version, but as you can see, it still works. And it literally will show you what note to place your piano roll on. So here it is on F sharp. Go into your piano roll. And you click on F sharp. And now you have a visual representation of which note to hit. And you can see it's the first of the 3 set of black notes. So we right click on the first of the 3 set of black notes. Shit, I almost blocked one of you on accident. Yeah, great call, Jazzy Fox. Primetime says, scroll up a little bit. I had a question about samples with different timings. I sometimes use... Is that the same for vocals? Yeah, not quite. I'd say just like Edison, it works like maybe even less than 80% of the time when you're trying to get a bunch of melodies, a bunch of notes. But you can try it. Trial and error. But I don't know how to EQ the whole pack. Can you repeat your question, Primetime? Ronnie just bought Elite Pianist for $750. Yeah, bro. That's what I did as well. I don't know why I bought it, because I'm pretty sure they were going to give it to me for free, but I just wanted to show my support. Primetime to be... Oh, no, that's not it. Yeah, Primetime, can you just re-ask your question? Because I can't find your question. When you put it up 5 octaves up, what do you do after that? Put it back down? Yeah, you put it back down after that. Yeah, Shuri. See, you're getting confused here because you think that putting it up 5 octaves is doing something. He puts it up 5 octaves so that he can hear what note the 808 is playing, so he can tune the 808 by ear. That's all he's doing. It doesn't tune the 808. You tune the 808 by going into this section right here and right-clicking on the root note. That actually is what tunes the 808. So he's listening to the 808. He's pressing the same note over and over again. Let me go to the 808. So this 808's F sharp, right? But we want it to hit middle C. So on the keyboard right now, I'm hitting middle C. But that's wrong. But when the note is really low, sometimes it's really hard to hear. So for example, if the 808 is tuned really low, like right here, there's not a human being in the world that could tell you what note that's playing. It's too hard to hear. So what he does, he pitches it up by 5 octaves, and it just makes it more intelligible for you to hear what note it's playing. Then he tunes it by ear after that. So yeah, it's not a magic trick in terms of, oh, pitch it up 8 octaves and you're done. No, you got to still tune the 808 after that. So that's not C. That's not C. That isn't it. That's not it. That's not it. Found it. There it is. Middle C. So that's all it really is. Primetime, can you give me a really quick rundown of how to spot drum samples that would have a offbeat wave file? For example, 2 hi-hats on the second beat, but they're different hi-hats because... Can you give me a really quick rundown on how to spot drum samples that would have a offbeat wave file? Yeah, I can. Shit. Okay, you see this start offset knob? So if you see a gap right here between where you see the first hit of the hi-hat, between the very beginning of this section right here, that means it's offset. So it would be offbeat. That's how you spot it. Like this. So you see how the sample starts right here? That's offbeat. Say the peak of the hi-hat hits a little later in the... Yeah, exactly. Right there. Terry says, so do we need to do that with all sounds or just 808s? From my experience, just 808s. Terry says, so how do you fix that offset? Were you the person that asked the offset question? Oh, well, it's a good question anyway. With this knob, start offset. So now the sample starts, the FL Studio will play the sample wherever you set this offset knob. So if I set it way over here at the beginning, it takes forever for that to start, but I could set it all the way right here and it starts right at the beginning. I'm going to send 2 hi-hats on Discord so you could see what I mean. Okay. Sounds like you just sent it. And I have no idea what you're saying. Moon Meta, go ahead and submit your beat now, and I will listen to it. Mm-hmm. Yadera says, what does the LFO do for the 808 and the channel rack? Do a demo? All right, I will in a second. So yeah, let me send this into a sampler. Sampler. So yeah, this hi-hat sample actually starts kind of right here. I think this is one of my hi-hats, isn't it? But yeah, the hi-hat starts kind of right here. There is a little beginning right there. But yeah, you could just see a little gap between where it starts. But yeah, if you just move the start offset right there, it'll start at the very beginning. If you don't want that gap. And Primetime is asking, wouldn't that cause a offbeat effect? Yes and no. It really depends on how far the gap is. So in this particular hi-hat sample, you're not really going to hear really much of an offbeat effect. It's just going to sound, it'll sound fine. But if you really want an offbeat effect, if you're trying to put an offbeat effect, go into the shift and you really want to back this up a little bit. And that will really make it more offbeat. But with this much gap, it's hardly anything at all. You're not it's still going to sound very, very much so on the grid. Yeah, I have a hi-hat that has a little intro like that, and then it comes in. You said this is a Mira hat? Why not just go into Edison and cut it like any sample? It's more work than just doing that. That's a lot less work than pulling up a plugin. Raphael says Nick Mira's kits are lame. Yeah, out of all the Internet Money kits, I recommend eTrue if you're looking for one of their kits. Yeah, Slicex is a good choice too. Terry says, can you show us how to make samples using 2 sounds? Primetime says, really need 12 for those pre-computed effects. It's not in 12, it's in 20. Ronnie says, I appreciate you a lot, big bro. Learned a lot from you. I'm out. Peace out, Ronnie. Jazzy says, OCD about the beginning point, don't like clicks, etc. Yep. Edison can get rid of pops and clicks for you for sure. Jazzy, yeah. I love that. I love that you're able to talk to people on YouTube over Twitch, which is why I'll never become an affiliate or whatever. Moon Meadow, we're still waiting on your beat. In the meantime, I'll show you the LFO thing. He recommends KBZ's kits over Internet Money ones. Yeah, I like KBZ's videos. His drums are usually on point. I think he recycles his sounds, though. At least early on. I don't think he does anymore, but when he first got started, you know, you would see like the Spins 808 and the Rat Kick in his paid kits. So you're paying for free sounds sometimes. I've heard some things about Viper. I need to check that out. But anyway, let's go into my basses again. Volume. Basically, this can give you a little bit of punch if you use it just right. So let's take the attack all the way to the beginning. Turn the amount up, and you'll see that the volume goes up and then down, up and down, up and down. You could change the speed of this, extend it out. So now you're basically reshaping the waveform. Hold on. What did I do? Here we go. Versus, let me, oh, I guess I can just hit reset. So here's with it and then without it. Not really hearing too much of a difference there. Yeah, with this particular example, you could hear just a slight little attack on it, but it's not as much of a difference versus going into this pitch envelope, turning this on, turning up the amount, and turning all of this crap down. And now you can add in a little attack at the beginning of the 808. You hear that punch at the beginning versus so yeah, that's really the point of the LFO. And then on top of that, there's tricks that you can do in terms of just the end of the 808. So if you delay this and speed up the LFO, you get a little more rumble at the end. But it all just depends on if that's something that you really want. Another trick that you could do with the LFO, you could do that with the cutoff filter too. So if you have a so that created a nice little attack at the beginning. So now you can add the LFO to that, and so increase the amount, turn the attack all the way down. It just gives it a little more punch. Palace called the Spins 808 K Beezy's girlfriend in one of his kits. K Beezy called it his girlfriend in a lot of his videos. But that's hilarious. Palace has a kit with... Oh my god, that's hilarious. Yeah, I think they're pretty good friends. Let's see if you submitted that beat. All right. Hey, Jazzy Fox is in the Discord. I appreciate you joining. I gotta take a piss too, so this is definitely the last one. Yeah, Dadara said he likes the tail to rumble. Yeah, some people do for sure. This is dope. Nice punch. Bro, I swear if my subscribers get any younger, I'm gonna be pissed. Like, I do not want to get demonetized for making videos for kids. Like, my subscribers better be 14 and older. The youngest subscribers that I had were 16 until you came in. And one of them just is working out a deal with Elysium. How long have you been making beats for, Moon Meta? Yeah, man. I'm probably just confirming what you thought. The beat is fire. The leveling's on point. Everything's in key, since we've been talking about that all day now. Sound selection is on point. Sounds like you made the melodies yourself. Doesn't sound like that was a loop. Yeah, I was going to guess for a year. Raphael, you're probably not in here anymore, but yeah, that's usually what people sound like nowadays when they make beats for a year. But Raphael came in here, he made beats like for a few days and he was already at this level. I've literally have never met anyone like that. But yeah, it's really common for young teens to be right around this level when it's their first year, with all the resources you guys have, quality plugins, quality drum kits, and a shitload of tutorials out there to watch. You could improve really, really fast. Raphael's still here. Yeah, Raphael's much, much older than everyone else. But still, just the amount of time that he spent literally making beats is very short compared to everyone else. All right. I said I was going to stop there, but we have one more. I wonder how old Takid is, because I think he's older too. I think he's in his 30s. Terry's 48. Yeah, I remember this track. This was the Matrix track that I was saying. You said still needs to be a bit more stereo and panned. I disagree. Yeah, bro, this track is done.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the mix.
Yeah, Jazzy, you haven't been in here the past couple streams, but I really have been highlighting that when I make these critiques, it's okay to go back and make changes to the beats that I critique, but 10 times out of 10, you're actually better off moving on to your next beat and applying what you learned to your next project. You're slowing yourself down, honestly, by going back and trying to perfect this old beat. There's a lot of things that you're missing out on by moving on to your next project. You can make more mistakes. You can pick up on new techniques. You're already on 4 other beats. Still, my point is you could be on 5 or 6 other beats with the amount of time you don't spend on this one. But especially from what I heard the first time around, I already loved the track. I honestly did, and I still love it. So yeah, bro, I totally hear what you're saying about there's more to the right ear. But to be completely honest with you, and maybe this will highlight a mistake that you're making, I didn't notice that until you said it. So a lot of times as producers, especially producers, but creatives in general, they'll hear things and critique themselves a little, not a little, but a lot more harsh than most people listening in. So I believe that is what you're doing to yourself right now. Stefan, good to see you in here. The enemy of good is better. Bro, what a quote. Is that you? Is that all you? Did you just come up with that? Because that needs to be like, bro, that makes sense on so many different levels. There's a lot of levels to that, what you just said. That works both ways, right? That is so true. Yeah, because like it works in the sense that, yeah, obviously better is better than good, but also it's the enemy of good, because if you already have something that's good or already are good and you're striving to be better, it could actually make things worse. In terms of your progression, in terms of, I mean, all kinds of stuff. Because no mix is ever done. Same thing with writing. If you're a writer, like you could make changes to a book all day forever. But at some point you just gotta call it quits. Oh, General Patton? Okay. All right, guys. Let me just post this one last time before I head out. 40% off of the InflightMuzik drum pack. Code is live save 40, and that will go on. I'll leave that up for another 20 minutes after I get off air. But after that, the code will be gone. But I will be back Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 p.m. United States Eastern Time. Until then, I wish you guys the best. Hopefully you all had a great Thanksgiving. And I will see you all in the next one. I appreciate all of you.